Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Signs of progress in the fight against COVID-19, what the data is revealing. Plus, we are watching Storm Tracker 4 and the skies as rain is creeping its way north. Meteorologist Brandon Rue will be here to take a closer look at the timeline. But we begin with a plea to President Biden from the Novi man being held in a Russian prison. Paul Whelan is calling on the president to talk to Russian President Vladimir Putin about the detainment of U.S. citizens. The two world leaders are going to be meeting at a summit later this month. Whelan spoke to CNN from a Russian labor camp where he is serving a 16-year prison sentence for spying. He insists there's no evidence against him and claims that he's just being held for political purposes.
Decisive action is needed immediately. The abduction of an American citizen cannot stand anywhere in the world. This is not an issue of Russia against me. It's an issue of Russia against the United States. And the United States needs to answer this hostage diplomacy situation and resolve it as quickly as possible. So I would ask President Biden to aggressively discuss and resolve this issue with his Russian counterparts.
Paul Whelan told CNN that he knows President Biden and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken are working to get him released. He has been imprisoned in Russia for more than 2 years. He says he spends his days working in a clothing factory. Also making headlines this noon, Michael Foy, the Wixom man accused of being one of the most violent participants in the deadly Capitol insurrection back in January, is in federal court in Washington, D.C. He's accused of beating a police officer with a hockey stick. Foy remains jailed without bond in Washington, D.C. after his arrest in the weeks following the January 6th attack. His attorney has argued that he should be released from custody. We are monitoring the court hearing, and we will have updates for you in later editions of Local 4 News. Now it's time to turn our attention to the weather as we take a live look at the cloudy skies at our sky cam overlooking downtown Detroit. And we are tracking how soon that rain is going to start creeping in. Brandon, how are we looking?
Down near the Ohio border, it has been kind of coming and going already, but it's mainly going to be late afternoon or this evening. Look at the temps flip-flopped from normal anyway, middle 60s through Metro Detroit, but low 70s up north. More clouds south, so temps are humbled by the clouds. More sun, more warmth to our north, so hang on to that. We have probably peak temps around 2 o'clock in the low 70s, and then after 2 o'clock, some scattered showers in the area. Right now, Storm Tracker 4 just has parts of southern Ontario and a little bit of drizzle down in our south zone. But there are reinforcements. We've showed you the wide picture here, and it's just a matter of when our drier air succumbs to all of this wet weather. And I think some of the heaviest stuff will be tail end of the evening commute, 6 or 7 p.m. into midnight tonight. And some areas east side could get a half an inch to an inch. We'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, if you're heading out because we have scattered showers this afternoon and heavier downpours tonight, make sure you've got the Local Forecasters app. It's free in your app store under WDIV. Rhonda, I know you'll be watching the radar.
Yes, I will. It's my golf league today. Developing here at noon, a search for suspects after one man is dead and a woman is hurt in a shooting that happened in Royal Oak Township at a hotel there. It happened around 7:30 this morning at Baymont Inn, right there on 8 Mile. State police say that a group of men went to a room, knocked on the door, and when the victim opened the door, they started shooting. In the end, a 24-year-old man was killed. A woman inside the room was also hurt. Her injuries not life-threatening. Police believe the shooting was not random.
All three were wearing hoodies. All three had COVID masks on. We're pretty confident that this was not a random incident at the hotel, that this was actually a targeted assault on the parties that were in that hotel room.
Police say that 2 of the men were seen getting out of a dark-colored Jaguar before the shooting. Governor Whitmer is in Flint today for an event to help people clear their criminal records under Michigan's new expungement law. Nearly 1,000 people signed up for this event. They were also offered the chance to register to vote and get vaccinated for COVID-19.
We know that this is an opportunity to give people a chance to make a good living, to get back into the workforce, to take care of their families, a second chance at a real good life here in Michigan. And this is a coordinated effort with the Attorney General, Secretary of State, my office, the sheriff. I mean, this is everyone coming together to make sure people have an opportunity to get vaccinated, register to vote, and get their records expunged.
Today's event is the first of several expungement fairs across the state in the coming months, so we will keep you posted when the next one is coming around. Turning our attention to the coronavirus this noon, today we are expecting, of course, new Michigan coronavirus vaccination and case numbers nationally. The United States passes 33,288,000 coronavirus cases with more than 595,000 deaths to this virus. Meantime, in a little more than an hour, the president is going to be delivering remarks on the COVID-19 response and the vaccination program. There are signs of progress all across the country, but experts say this pandemic is nowhere near over.
Signs of normalcy.
It's just been super strange going from not being allowed to be in public anywhere, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, everybody's outside.
It feels good, though, to be back free.
Signs of progress in the fight against COVID-19. In the United States, the average daily number of new COVID-19 cases is below 20,000 for the first time since March of 2020. And the American Academy of Pediatrics reports the lowest number of new weekly cases in kids since early October. But kids made up about 25% of new cases last week, which is one of the reasons why there's still such a push to get those eligible vaccinated. That's in addition to the president's goal of getting 70% of adults with at least one vaccination dose by July 4th. CDC data shows 12 states have reached that goal. On a global scale, the latest report from the World Health Organization shows new COVID-19 cases declined for a fifth straight week. Still, the number of cases are high. We're talking millions of new cases every week, which is why U.S. officials are working out how to distribute vaccines to other countries, knowing beating COVID-19 is a global fight.
We have the means to end this pandemic quickly and save countless lives and livelihoods.
As far as the vaccination rate here in Michigan, we're sitting at 59.1%. The World Health Organization has approved a COVID-19 vaccine made by Chinese pharmaceutical company Sinovac for emergency use. The decision will allow the vaccine to be used in the WHO's vaccine sharing program. COVAX is what it's called. It seeks to provide equitable global access to immunizations. Meantime, in Peru, the country's prime minister announced a revised COVID-19 death toll. Peru now has the highest coronavirus-related death per capita in the world. Here at home, the White House is teaming up with Anheuser-Busch to reach their vaccination goals. The brewer is giving away a free beer or a drink of your choice to people who upload a picture of themselves at their favorite bar or restaurant. The catch is that we only get those free drinks if the country reaches President Biden's goal of getting 70% of adults partially vaccinated by the 4th of July. Also making headlines this noon, meatpacker JBS USA says that they are resolving issues from that cyber attack they suffered, and there should be no major interruption in the supply of beef throughout the country. As Tom Costello reports, this distribution is the latest example of the growing national security threat, ransomware attacks on companies critical to our lifestyle infrastructure.
Good day. JBS says it believes it is making progress in addressing the cyber attack that was launched against it over the weekend. Yesterday, Tuesday, 6 JBS plants were offline in the U.S. as well as operations in Canada and Australia. JBS is the world's biggest meat producer and a supplier to major U.S. brands including Pilgrim's, McDonald's, Costco, and Walmart. The company has told the White House it believes Russian criminal hackers were behind the attack, demanding a ransom to free up the company computers. President Biden is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Geneva in 2 weeks, and cybersecurity will be among the topics for discussion. But experts say it's doubtful that the Kremlin will really crack down on Russian criminal gangs that are targeting not Russian interests, but Western interests, Western companies, and Western governments. I'm Tom Costello in Washington, NBC News. Back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Still to come, President Biden taps Vice President Kamala Harris to run his administration's efforts to protect voting rights. The reason the administration is moving so quickly after the break.